Important announcement. All are requested to stand up for 1 minute silent prayer as an honor to the great Pele, demised recently. And time starts now. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening, and we welcome you all back to the third contest of the day. And we are live from the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur. We have two teams all set to duke it out in the final contest of the day after an eventful day of football, wherein Bengal started the game on a sumptuous note with a 5-0 victory, wherein Maharashtra simply extended the goal fest to another staggering 4-0 win. Now, this match, we have two teams who are going to match each other pound for pound as far as stature in the tournament goes. Now, we have Haryana taking on Chhattisgarh, and this will be a very exciting contest to look forward to. Let me all just remind you that this is a battle of Group 4. This is the Maharashtra leg. And if you have known it already, this contest will carry a lot of import to the current stature of the group. I'll quickly iterate the group fixtures or the group standings, but before that, let me quickly remind you of the starting 11 of both sides. Yeah, waiting for the starting 11. Here's the starting 11 for Chhattisgarh. We have Suresh Kumar Dhruv, Abhijit Pramanik, Hafizur Rahman Khan, Ujit Singh Markam, B. Gaurav, Mohammad Ayan, Ajit, Somnath Das, Abhishek Kunyam, Abhay Kumar Yadav, and Aman Munda. And the subs for Chhattisgarh are Gotiwara Rohan, Baldev Karanga, Shashwat Dixit, Asim Raj Kujur, Balsai Rajware, Amit Nag, Prakash Gupta, Bamia Sama, Deepak Bag, Aniket Murwa, and Amrish Shah. The starting lineup for Haryana will be Gurjeet Singh, Deepak, Vijay Kumar, Deepak, Ankit, Ajay, Jivesh, Hitesh Kadian, Sahil Malawat, Akshay Ranva, and Ravi Kumar Punia. And the subs are Naveen Taksak, Raman Singh, Ashok Kumar, Yogesh Singh, Naveen, Rahul Gill, Rohit, Vaibhav Sharma, Hitesh, Pradeep Kumar, and Dinesh. Now, quickly giving you an idea about the current group standings. West Bengal is at the top with 9 points from the three games that they have played so far, with a goal difference of plus 13. They are still to concede in the tournament. Maharashtra are following them with three victories from their first three games, with 9 goals in their favor and yet to concede. Chhattisgarh is in the third position as they have played two games. They have secured one victory and have lost one, as they have so far bagged 3 points. They have scored two while they have conceded one. Haryana, almost on a similar stature, 3 games, two victories, three games, one victory, one defeat, or rather 2 games. So 3 points in their kitty. They have scored two and they have conceded four. And just to give you a quick introduction on your screen, from the right to the left, the team in yellow and maroon is Chhattisgarh when you're on at the same time on your screen. From the left to the right are the team in a flamboyant orange. It is Haryana. And it is Chhattisgarh who got us underway at the Chhatrapati Stadium, Kolhapur. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can expect a crackling encounter, a battle of these two teams desperate to prove their supremacy because as the texture of the group stands, well, at the moment, West Bengal and Maharashtra, the host of this group, is running away with the top two places of the ongoing Hero NFC 76th Santosh Trophy. Now, this game will be of lot of import because it'll give us a clarity about which team is going to bag that all important third position. It's very important, to be honest, because you never know. This is football. We all know that this is football, and it can change in any given at any given point of time. The group fixtures can change at any given point of time, and you've just got to be hoping. You've just got to give your best. And this game has so far been a pretty reticent affair, with both sides keeping things restricted to the midfield. And it's just 2 minutes in the clock, but football is such a lively game where you cannot even blink for a second. You blink for a second and you may simply end up. This was a decent chance here for Haryana, but again, there wasn't really any finisher scarring for it at the end of the day, and eventually it was collected comfortably by the goalkeeper, making it too easy. And now a throw in here for Chhattisgarh. A bit of a tussle in the midfield. Not really one of those roaring starts that we have so far witnessed. This was a great chance for Chhattisgarh this time. A solid counterblast coming from the right. As we said before, that this is going to be a battle that will give you the essence of a Roland for an Oliver, an eye for an eye, a pound for a pound. It is going to be a very pulsating encounter considering almost the identical strengths of both sides. They have been a bit too conservative in their approach of going for goals, to be honest. They're still to bring out the heavy artillery. Now, knowing their strengths, both Haryana and Chhattisgarh, they like to try and test their opposition first, and that is when they decide to do that heavy lifting, bring out the heavy artillery, and fire on all cylinders. This can be a decent run for Haryana down that right wing. A pretty decent work here from Akshay Ranwa on the left. Now he's passed it to the center to Sahil Malavat. Sahil tries to send it across to the player onto the far left, but eventually he was cut short by Chhattisgarh. Quickly, a bit of a twist and turn from Deepak of Haryana. Now the ball's fallen for Chhattisgarh again. There's a chance for Chhattisgarh to run forward, try and create something, but Haryana's goalkeeper Gurjeet Singh, he's a pretty towering presence under the woodwork. He's one man who doesn't let anything slip past him that easy. You have to toil your way to squeeze anything past uh, Gurjeet. He's not that big of a towering stature. If you go at its physical stature, he's not that eclipsing. But his tenacity, his passion, his hunger to keep the ball away from the goal line is what sets him apart, what makes him stand out amongst the melee of boots that are currently plying their trade at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur. Both the teams are right now keeping it very simple. Just do not want to press pretty hard straight away. They want to save some energy. They want to save it for the latter half of the game. It's an excruciating 90 minutes of football that'll be setting the tone of the narrative. So you may think that you are the hero for the first 5 to 10 minutes. You are emerging as the super teams of the two that are in contest. But at the end of it all, eventually it's a long race of 90 minutes. So you have to hang in there. You have to showcase the resilience. You have to showcase that robust attitude, the will to carry forward. That is what matters, and that's exactly what these two teams believe in. Haryana will have a long chase, and eventually they'll give away. They'll let Chhattisgarh do the talking at the moment. It's with their goalkeeper now, Aman Munda, who passes it off to the left. He quickly chips it out, hopes for his player to keep the ball in play, and he does it successfully. That's a decent bit of one-touch football here. Once again, Chhattisgarh rolling it forward. And now from the right, we have Abhijit Pramanik, rather from the left. Apologies. And he expected Abhijit Pramanik to do a bit of running there. But Abhijit stayed rooted to his spot. It's a throw in now in favor of Haryana, and Deepak was the one who took the throw in. And now it's a chase for Haryana. From the far right, we can see Jivesh continuously pressing for that ball, and eventually that's a throw in favor of Haryana. Good work from Jivesh nonetheless. Haryana taking their time, 7 minutes on the clock. A bit of a slow start to the game from both sides. A bit of a conservative approach as well. A long throw coming in from Haryana, and Chhattisgarh repelling it away for a corner, the first corner of the day, falling in favor of the men in orange, Haryana. A chance here for them to try and make it count. There's Sahil Malavat on the corner. Sahil has a penchant for sending those brilliant balls in. I mean, he can get things moving. He can get the world rolling with those clinically precise set pieces that he eventually sets in. But this wasn't really a great one. However, uh, a Haryana player did manage to reach at the end of it, and even did put in a decent amount of power behind his header. But goalkeeper of Haryana, or rather the goalkeeper of Chhattisgarh, was as calm as he could, and eventually watered it away. Here's a chance for Haryana. Takes the shot from the right. Denied from the goal line. This was the closest that Haryana could come, and Haryana has started mounting some pressure upon Chhattisgarh. A golden opportunity nonetheless. Came within inches of finishing it off. But once again, despite Aman Munda not really being in his position to thwart it, the defenders were very much in position, and eventually it was a timely intervention on the goal line itself that denied Haryana from getting that opener. Well, it seems that Haryana is undeterred with that block, and they will like to keep on coming further again and again. Another corner here for Haryana. But the first one didn't really produce something significant. Then the second one gets something going in their way. Sahil Malabat all set with that corner. Once again, we'll be hoping to create a tidal wave with this one. Sends it towards that far post, but this time way beyond the reach of any Haryana player. However, it was headed away. Oh, well, actually, it was headed away by a Haryana player. He was not in a very convincing position to try and flick that towards the goal, and now imparting a goal kick here in favor of Chhattisgarh, and it's Aman Munda with the goal kick here. He launches it downtown. Haryana right now doing all the talking at the moment. Chhattisgarh not really able to find themselves a strong foothold here. Initially, despite an even Steven exchange from both the sides, the last 2 to 3 minutes has seen Haryana imposing a stranglehold upon Chhattisgarh, and they are trying desperately to bolster it. The ball stays with Haryana right now. Deepak. And he wins the corner, the third corner for Haryana. Now that's good to see here. Haryana making it count, ensuring the fact that the pressure remains on Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh will have to be alert. They have just managed to escape from a goal line situation. This time the corner comes in a lot more flatter here, and it seems that while the corner came in, a couple of Chhattisgarh players rammed into a Haryana attacker, and eventually the referee had to stop play and impart a free kick in favor of Chhattisgarh. The physio has been summoned over. Football is a body contact game, and things like these can keep on happening. You have to be a bit careful, but nonetheless, how careful you are. When it comes to football, your main focus remains on the ball, your main focus remains on claiming possession for yourselves. So it's not always possible for you to be on your toes and be alert about what's going to unfurl. So, and that was one of the reasons why. We have the two coaches of both sides who are who are rather giants of the technical think tank of each team. We have Shantanu Ghosh leading the contingency of Chhattisgarh from the sides, wherein we have Shakti Singh taking care of Haryana's unit from the sidelines, the preceptor of the team, the mastermind of all the brilliance you see on the field. Keen game reader as well, as far as the antiquity of football goes. He's a keen reader of the game, and he will really like to showcase that in today's contest. Chhattisgarh right now is pegged back to their own half. Haryana doing a decent job, and a ball has fallen for Chhattisgarh. This can be an opportunity. Takes a bit longer of a time. Couldn't really pull the trigger at the first shy, and that took away the menace that this first opportunity posed. Nonetheless, Chhattisgarh has reclaimed possession for themselves. A bit of a tussle, a bit of an aerial tussle from Haryana, and Chhattisgarh continuing in the half of Haryana. Now, that's a decent 1-2 across coming in from the left, but blocked away by Haryana, and eventually a throw in going Haryana's way. Now the contest slowly coming to life as Haryana has started pulling up the trigger a few times. Chhattisgarh simply trying to issue a counter blast of their very own. Sends it down to the far right. And it'll be going out for a throw-in now in favor of Haryana. And quickly sends the ball there. And now launches it forward. It stays with Chhattisgarh. Now a chase for Haryana. The goalkeeper will have to hurry. Almost ended up depositing it at the feet of the marauding attacker, but at the end of the day, he did do a decent job of keeping it away, clearing it just in time, showcasing his reflexes. But the defenders will have to be a bit more alert. They cannot give away the possession so cheaply. They cannot concede the throws and corners so easily. This will make life a lot easier for Haryana. And you don't want to do that. They actually have decent amount of firepower in their shade. They'll keep on knocking unless the job is done. Another opportunity. The danger still lingers on in the half of Haryana, or rather in the half of Chhattisgarh. Quick word there with the goalkeeper between the referee. The goalkeeper probably is warning him that maybe you should be a bit more careful with your pushes. But nevertheless, it's a free kick in favor of Chhattisgarh. And Aman Munda so far has done a decent job, kept his castle uptight, maintained the integrity of his rear guard in blazing colours. But again, in football, you have to be alert for all those moments, all those 90 minutes. A second of a lapse of concentration and you may find yourselves trailing. So it's very important that you keep your eyes on the ball always. No matter how good you have been through the match, one mistake can be very costly, especially if you're a goalkeeper. We have seen history staying witness to countless such incidents, and it has been very unforgiving, even to the best of all. Here's a chance for Chhattisgarh, sends in a tantalizing cross from the left, and eventually it bobbled up in front of the player of Chhattisgarh, who was lurking close to the goal. A rebound shot came in, but that had no sting whatsoever to trouble Gurjeet Singh. This is the second time of the day that Gurjeet had actually had to grab onto the ball. Back with Chhattisgarh again, but Haryana does a decent job of reclaiming the possession for themselves. Quickly launches it forward. Haryana does a decent job of winning the ball for themselves, especially Akshay Ranva takes a shot but jams it straight at the scrimmage of Chhattisgarh boots that lied ahead of them. Oh, this could have been a catastrophic move, yeah, had it not been for the goalkeeper, Aman Munda. What a fine save was that! Timed his run to perfection and eventually snatched it away from the jaws of the Haryana Marauders, who were looking forward to rattle the net with a scintillating header. But nonetheless, the save did come in, and a cross comes in for Chhattisgarh, a golden opportunity for them. All they needed to do was just tap it home, but he couldn't reach there in time. And eventually, the opportunity goes begging, but the ball still remains with Chhattisgarh, who would like to tease the goalkeeper from range. But once again, a very tame effort straight down the gully of the goalkeeper. It's 18 minutes down the clock, and as things stand, it's still 0-0. It's still all square and goalless at the Chhatrapati Stadium, or rather at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, Maharashtra. The battle wages on between two fine teams, two teams not willing to give a modicum of space to each other without a fight, two teams willing to put everything on the line to determine the fate. Both the teams now starting to come out on attacks, opening up the avenues of invasion. Another cross comes in here, but the flag already went up, so even had it been decent enough, it would not have counted. Now, what an electric exchange are we staying witness to at Maharashtra here, or rather at Kolhapur to be precise. Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium, Kolhapur. It's playing host to the hero, or rather to the Maharashtra leg of Hero's 76th NFC Santosh Trophy, a tournament that has seen giants of Indian football take baby steps and eventually turn them into leaps, into strides, into significant step or into significant way forward. It's a long way to go for all of them. It's just that they'll have to keep on holding on to their dreams. They'll have to keep on holding on to their momentum. It's a mix, actually. Again, not all the players who are playing are just youngsters and newcomers who want to prove themselves at a bigger stage, but there are also a lot of experienced people in the fold as well, who makes this a very interesting mix. And that is a perfect example of a sliding tackle, timed it to perfection, brought the player down, snatched the ball for himself, and eventually conceded a throw in. But what an absolute stunner that was. We all keep on praising the goals, but these tackles are also crucial. You've got to be clinically perfect. Not even one or not even a modicum of error can allow you to go forward to the tackle. You make an error and you end up conceding a free kick, and that's at a critical juncture. So definitely kudos to the Chhattisgarh defender for his bravado just outside the box. And now Haryana desperately trying to keep the ball away from Chhattisgarh, because as time has passed by, as the crucial seconds have whizzed away, Chhattisgarh has actually grown in stature. This is another great run from Haryana, but it felt that there was a bit more of a push than Haryana would have anticipated, and eventually it took out the Chhattisgarh player, getting them an important free kick. Chhattisgarh, on the contrary, they haven't really been as dynamic and explosive that they are known for, but what they have been so far is that they have been resilient. They have been vigilant, and at the same time, they've kept an open eye, just ensuring that no matter whatsoever happens, Haryana doesn't get a final say in the scheme of things. Passes it down quickly to that right wing. Tries to open up, tries to create more space ahead. Now this is a decent ball, splitting through, definitely on the sides. They'll detract somewhat of the menacing factor that the initial ball had it been sent towards the center. And now that's a fine run from the right. Now sends in a brilliant ball from the left, but again, had a bit too much weight on it and eventually rolled out for a throw. Somehow the left wing that has been the major talking point for Chhattisgarh in the tournament until now in the first two games. That left wing has been silenced. Now, given the fact that your major weapon, your most shining weapon has been taken away from you, it becomes very difficult for you to do the talking. It becomes very difficult for you to probably try and think of another avenue. But then when you're playing football at such a high level, so Hero NFC Santosh Trophy is the elitist state competition that goes on in the Indian circuit. Before that, let's just iterate that this was an opportunity for Haryana, and just trying some luck from the right, Haryana unleashed an effort, but it was straight down the gully of an alert Aman Munda, who's right now being shouldered with the onus of leading, or rather of protecting the citadel of Chhattisgarh, and he's done a very decent job, to be honest. A free kick here in favor of Chhattisgarh now, or rather of Haryana, apologies. A bit of a tussle hither and yon. And the referee believes that while Haryana went for the ball, while he made that leap, there was a bit of a backward push that was pretty significant in forcing the referee to blow his whistle and eventually impart a free kick in favor of Chhattisgarh, giving them the time. It'll be Aman Munda who's come out from his line and will eventually be taking it. Just a few moments back, we saw Somnath Das screaming for the ball for himself. Another long ball, but Haryana is alert as well. Now that was absolutely unnecessary, but nonetheless, he tried to pull off a stunt and has been booked. It's Ujit Singh Markram who's taken the booking for Haryana, or rather for Chhattisgarh. Apologies again. So yes, it's a free kick now in favor of Haryana here. There's a chance for them to try and launch something significant into the box. And a yellow card is being shown to Haryana as well. So it was Deepak of Haryana who took a booking. So not a very pleasant booking to take, because at the end of the day it was a free kick in their favor. So most likely he must have said something that forced the referee to bring out the yellow card. But nonetheless, the matter is sorted at the moment. And the corner had some decency in it, was definitely swinging towards the goal, but eventually it was not really headed towards a direction that could have spelt doom for Chhattisgarh. And it floated out over the woodwork, giving away a throw in now in favor of Chhattisgarh. And Chhattisgarh stands tall and stands firm in their approach, and does a decent work here. Creates the ball. This is the first time one of the most dynamic attackers of Chhattisgarh has received the ball, eventually sends a scarring ball forward, but it had too much punch in it. It was Abhijit Pramanik who was trying to orchestrate an attack in favor of Chhattisgarh, but eventually failed. And the referee once again blowing the whistle here. A player of Haryana is down. It was Hitesh Karyan who needs some medical attention there, and the referee quickly summoning the medico over. Now, as the story of the match goes, let us all just reiterate of what has happened. It started off with an even Stevens exchange with one chance apiece from Haryana and Chhattisgarh in the first 2 to 3 minutes, but then the game was entirely dominated by Haryana, forcing Chhattisgarh to stay in their own half. But then the men in yellow slowly started coming out of their integument and started to test the opposition, started to test the metal that the opposition would come forward with. So, nonetheless, at the end of it all, right now it's all square at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a battle to savor. This has been an exciting exchange of haymakers. Not really a slugfest. Both the teams have been very tactically suave and they have actually been very particular about their weapons of choice. So they haven't yet bared out their entire arsenal. So that means we are still to see the most sublime moves from both the sides in the forthcoming minutes. But right now, as things stand, it's still 0-0. Here's a chance for Haryana! But this was the closest that they could have come. A free header almost. The defenders of Chhattisgarh let it go too easily, but it couldn't connect and couldn't place it on target. It was Deepak. Deepak was almost at the receiving end of a thunderous delivery. And he eventually headed it out. And here's a change happening for Haryana. We can see Naveen Taksak all set to take the field in place of Ravi Kumar Punia, who had a very silent first half until now. Naveen Taksak had a very elemental role to play against Madhya Pradesh in the tournament opener for Haryana. So I hope you can understand that this game will be equally important for Naveen Taksak, and Naveen Taksak will be equally instrumental for Haryana in their exploits against Chhattisgarh. Haryana has definitely did the heavy lifting. They fired on all cylinders, but somehow Chhattisgarh still managed to stand tall, still managed to weather all the storm that has come at their end, raining from the men in yellow and maroon. Here's a chase for Haryana, or rather for Chhattisgarh. Can they keep it in hunt? It doesn't seem like. There's a throw in now for for Haryana at the moment. Oh, this confirmation comes here. It's for Chhattisgarh basically. A bit of a desperation there from Chhattisgarh to keep the ball in their favor. They'll have to be a bit more vigilant about how they go about it. They'll have to keep a lot more possession alongside them, because if they're unable to do so, that is where the problem will be. The whistle has gone up. That is not something that Haryana was definitely expecting. But I believe the yellow card is going to go against the Chhattisgarh player. And as far as the proceedings go, yes, it is Abhijit Pramanik with the yellow card. The referee believes that he gave away a dive way too easily. There was no contact at all. And as far as the regulations of football go, if you're acting too much, you're putting in that dive, that's more of a histrionics than actually being clipped from behind. You will have to take a booking. A needless yellow card for Abhijit Pramanik, but nonetheless, he was just hoping maybe he could prize out a penalty from there. A spot kick, the dreaded spot, could have been lit up. But nonetheless, all he could get was a yellow card, was a booking, and definitely a word of caution from the referee. And Haryana, some air to reprieve. A chance, yeah, for Haryana! Almost called it towards the goal, but it was the top netting that was mainly impacted from the strike. Aman Munda was definitely going to put in a full stretch dive, that was quite obvious, but then at the end of it, that ball was never floating in towards the goal. But nonetheless, kudos to the audacity, kudos to the daring attitude of Chhattisgarh, or rather of Haryana, that they believed that they could actually try and find out something different. It's time for Chhattisgarh. Abhijit Pramanik on the ball, the man who just got the booking. And it once again rolls out of play. It's a quick free kick now. A bit of a push from the back. Here's an opportunity for Haryana to break free, but Chhattisgarh was alert enough to take the ball for themselves. But Haryana has reclaimed the possession in a trice, and now they like to drive forward. But the incessant press from Chhattisgarh has not allowed them to go forward. And now that's an electric run. Backer from the left. He still manages to keep the ball. It's Abhijit Pramanik on the ball. As we mentioned before, he is one of the most lethal players in the ranks of Chhattisgarh, and he can actually make wonders happen. Taking their time, quickly passing it forward, but straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Rather, at the feet of him. But once again, the medico has been summoned over. A Haryana player has taken a knock and has gone down. We have crossed the half-hour mark of the contest, and this has been a pretty equal contest that has not really produced something great for both sides. It's Ajay of Haryana who's down at the moment. Will need some treatment. There's the Chhattisgarh bench. Still trying to figure out that how they can do things differently, how they can add a lot more variety to the game, thereby questioning the authority of Haryana. Haryana will also be thinking maybe try and introduce some different avenues of attack. They've almost exhausted all possible sources of incursions, but somehow all those incursions have been halted either by their profligacy or by Aman Munda under the woodwork. So both the teams a bit of they've kind of stuttered into a halt against each other and they're unable to just get past it. They'll have to produce something extraordinary or maybe a moment of individual madness that can change the game as well. And that's a decent goal kick from Haryana. Gurjeet has been a very efficient goalkeeper. Chhattisgarh has evolved a lot more as time has passed by, and in the last 5 minutes, they have actually managed to keep a lot of the ball at their feet, and that's good signs for them. After the initial spell of domination, after the initial storm that they weathered, they stood tall in the face of all the calamities that they were up against. But right now, they are happy to just they're happy to just come out of their shell and start asking those questions to Haryana. This was a chance here. The referee says get back up because it was not a foul. Uh, he's asking for some attention. Yes, the referee eventually had to stop because there's a player, Ajay of Haryana, has been knocked down and he'll need some medical treatment quickly. Now, this has been a high voltage pulsating encounter, and we've seen players taking the ground quite frequently. I believe that also signifies the kind of passion and hunger that both these teams have, and they will not stop at anything to go for the ball. Here's the Haryana bench, very closely observing the contest, very closely noting down the minutest of details that can actually uh, be used when the deliberations start in the tunnel, in the dressing room, in the half time. They're just 10 minutes away from the first half and coming to an end. It's been a pretty even Stevens affair. It has been a contest of almost equal proportions. I believe it was a collision of heads. That kind of forced the player down. It's good to see that he's back on his feet now, quickly walking away with the physio outside the ground. He'll have to wait outside the ground until the referee lets him in. And it's Chhattisgarh who starts the proceedings again. Chhattisgarh is being pressed continuously by Haryana, but this time they crossed the line and eventually ended up pushing a bit harder than usual. Haryana is still keeping the press high enough to bother the Chhattisgarh defenders pretty frequently. That's a decent piece of ball for Chhattisgarh. Abhijit Pramanik on the left again. The ball now shuffling its way to the central channel. Passes it to the far right. That's a brilliant 1-2 that allows Chhattisgarh to be in their stride of sending it across. The cross comes in, but it also flew out of bounds. Gurjeet Singh of Haryana just calming things down here a bit, asking the opposition that everything's going to be fine. Just don't worry or just don't end up panicking. Because if there's panic, then things can be pretty difficult. It's a throw in here in favor of Chhattisgarh. And Chhattisgarh now has the ball to go forward, try and test Haryana in their own possible capacity. And that's some decent footwork in the central channel. And Chhattisgarh stays stunned that the ball was actually claimed by Haryana. They claimed that it was a bit of a handball involved when he tried to control it. The referee paid no heed to it. Here's another opportunity, a free kick for Haryana from the edge of the box. A chance for them to try and get their noses ahead, sneak something past a vigilant wall of Chhattisgarh. Can Haryana utilize this chance? We can see Sahil Malawat is on the ball. He's known for his ability to quickly try and flip in those set pieces. So it's going to be Sahil who's going to take that free kick. Sends it towards the goal. Aman Munda comes out of his line and parries it away for a corner. That's an electric save because the ball was looping at the end of it. There was a very vicious dip that initially felt was going to trouble the goalkeeper. But once again, a phenomenal piece of save from Aman Munda. Ajay with the corner sends it into the mix. But once again, Aman Munda outleaping his markers and eventually collecting it. What an incredible show this young lad has had under the woodwork, denying the collective battery of Haryana almost single-handedly with some decent help from the defense. It has been a resolute show from this young lad, and as time goes by, he'll be growing a lot more in stature and confidence. And when a goalkeeper keeps on pulling off those stunning saves, it becomes very difficult for any team in the world to beat him, no matter how big of an opposition he's up against. He starts pulling off saves that feels like a simple fancy dream, even in your wildest of imaginations. But now there's a push from the back, and the referee quickly imparting a free kick here for Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh takes it quickly, sends another ball towards the penalty box, but it seems like the first touch was a bit too hefty and it goes out of bounds, imparting another free kick now in favor of Haryana. Gurjeet Singh will take them all day long. He's also had a decent game, didn't really have to prove himself much, wasn't tested too frequently like Aman Munda has been. But we all know that given the capability, given the caliber of this young man, if the test comes knocking on the door, he will be ready for the task to shut it close. A bit of a tussle, the ball still remains with Chhattisgarh, and the referee quickly asks the Haryana player to get back up. He's not awarding the penalty for such a nudge. And now here's an opportunity for Chhattisgarh to break again, this time from the right. But Haryana timing their advancement to perfection, intervening with the stride and the roll of the ball and getting it away for a goal kick, or rather for a throw in. Chhattisgarh now focusing on netting those small passes, something that can actually cause those all important errors in the mindset of Haryana. It's another throw in here, and it was Ujit Singh Markram with the throw in. Now Chhattisgarh trying to use the central channel to their advantage. A lot of Haryana sentinels guarding that central channel. It's back to Abhijit Pramanik on the left. A delectable cross from the left wing, and this was the first time that Gurjeet Singh had to put in a save, a golden opportunity for Chhattisgarh, but eventually, kind of a meek enterprise ends up straight into the arms of Gurjeet Singh. Could have done better from there. Chhattisgarh almost was on the opportunity of cracking open the deadlock that is right now reigning supreme at the Chhatrapati Sahu Stadium in Kolhapur. Here's a chance again for Chhattisgarh, and now it's Abhijit Pramanik on the ball from the left, taking their chance, creates a short pass, across comes floating in from the left, but it will elude everyone. And in fact, even had it not eluded everyone, that opportunity would not have counted because the flag was already up, and it's an offside in favor of Haryana. So they will get a free kick in their way, going their way, and Gurjeet Singh will have to be a bit more alert. He's definitely been alert. He's definitely been a top gun under the woodwork. But at the end of it all, he'll have to keep on pulling off these saves because Chhattisgarh is a very unpredictable side. You never know when they keep on, or when they rather open the tap of attacks, and suddenly all you would know is you will be against a wave of the Chhattisgarh players knocking on your door over and over again. Haryana's attacking intent has somehow seen a bit too withdrawn in the past few minutes. They have been a bit more reticent. They have focused a lot more on building the attacks from the back, but Haryana, or rather Chhattisgarh, has been pretty bedazzling. They have actually focused on going forward, try and test out a Haryana defense that is still to produce a decent amount of saves, or rather a decent amount of blocks. Here's an opportunity, sends in a brilliant cross from the right. The danger still lingers on. A header comes in, but eventually goes out. An opportunity for Haryana to almost get the better of Chhattisgarh in the dying embers of the first half. But once again, this time the defense of Chhattisgarh standing tall and providing cover to Aman Munda.
Added time 4 minutes.
4 minutes have been added on to the contest. It's Abhijit Pramanik with the ball now. Opportunity for Chhattisgarh, but staunchly denied by the defense of Haryana. And now Haryana on the move again. We can see Ankit barging forward from the right. And eventually he'll not have much success. Somnath Das with the throw for Chhattisgarh. It's fallen for Somnath at the moment. Somnath takes his time, and that's a decent piece of footwork, a quick turn that outwitted the Haryana players at the end of it. A few quick passes now being stitched by Haryana in their deep defense. Sends a brilliant through ball. Here's a chance again for Haryana to maybe try and send in the cross that can create havoc for Chhattisgarh, but Chhattisgarh absolutely resolute in their defense. Their rear guard is not willing to open up that easily. They have halted Haryana for almost 45 minutes, and the remaining 3 minutes they are gonna put all their best to the test about denying Haryana at the moment. Abhijit Pramanik on the ball, yet from the left, now is trying to cut in from the left wing and create something significant. From the wings, here's an opportunity for Chhattisgarh. There were two players converging upon the ball, but Gurjeet Singh coming out of his post, coming out of his station and eventually collecting it as comfortably as he could have. Once again, the left wing. I've already mentioned this before that this left wing is the crux, is the nexus of all of the dangers that Chhattisgarh has so far posed upon their counterparts. And Abhijit Pramanik is a man to watch out for. And he's already doing the talking, but it's good to see that he's not just confined to the left wing. He's cutting into the center, he's taking the shots, he's creating those through balls, he's taking that extra workload, adding the variety to the Chhattisgarh attacking unit. That's good to see. But Haryana, on the contrary, for them, like the left wing has worked wonders for Chhattisgarh so far in the tournament. Similarly, for Haryana, it's the right wing that has worked out wonders. So it's almost the similar channel that produces a lion's share of the opportunities that these two teams can usually create. We are down to the final minute of the additional time of the first half. Both the teams have been equally brilliant and bedazzling in their effort, but none of them have still managed to open the key to the gigantic gates that has been placed at each goalpost by the two goalkeepers and the defense. It's still all square at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium, Kolhapur. It's still 0-0. Chhattisgarh been absolutely brilliant with their defense. Haryana been scintillating with their attack. Here's a last throw of the dice from Chhattisgarh. We have Ajit Singh Murkam with a throw. Sends it a long throw, but Haryana putting up a decent show. Here's a chance yet for Chhattisgarh. Lets one fly, takes the deflection. But Gurjeet Singh absolutely alert, and fortunately, despite the ball taking the deflection, it was in the line of the goalkeeper itself, and eventually it gets submitted in the arms of Gurjeet Singh to put an end to the first half. A brilliant first half comes to an end. 45 minutes of entertaining football has seen these two teams facing it all out. It's still 0-0 at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, that is playing host to the Maharashtra leg of the ongoing Hero 76 NFC Santosh Trophy. We'll now try and show you the stats of the game that will probably tell you the story that has so far been between these two evenly matched sides. Here's the stats. It's 47% ball possession for Chhattisgarh. For Haryana, it's 53. 6 shots from Chhattisgarh, 10 from Haryana. 2 on target from Chhattisgarh, 3 on target from Haryana. 4 corners for Haryana, wherein Chhattisgarh are still to open their account. 3 fouls from Chhattisgarh, wherein 2 from Haryana. 2 yellow cards for Chhattisgarh, none for Haryana. And the red cards are still to be shown. And these stats are powered to you by the official broadcasting partner of the Hero 76 NFC Santosh Trophy Maharashtra leg, SportsKPI. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere, for we'll return shortly with the second half of this exciting contest that is still to produce the opener of the day. Stay tuned, everyone.
substitution by Haryana. Jersey number 10 in, jersey number 5 out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the second half of the ongoing contest between Chhattisgarh and Haryana. And this time on your screen from the left to the right are the team in yellow and maroon Chhattisgarh, wherein on your screen from the right to the left are the team in orange Haryana. It has so far still been a pretty exciting contest with both teams coming close to rattling open the deadlock, but it is still to find the back of the net. The ball is still to go into the back of the net. Balls with Chhattisgarh at the moment. This time, not really a decent clearance, an opportunity here for Gurjeet Singh to showcase his flair of pulling off heroic saves, but Chhattisgarh not really able to create that significant chance on the goal that could have allowed him to crack open the netter. Now that's some neat work already, and Haryana had to be a bit careful. There was a substitution as well for Haryana, and it was Ashok Kumar who took the field for Haryana. He's an attacking medium, and he will definitely like to showcase his flair of creating those long balls, of creating those important deliveries that can trouble Chhattisgarh's defense. Defense that has been questioned repeatedly but has still remained unfazed in the face of pressure. And now Chhattisgarh, they started the second half on a higher note, wherein they already had an opportunity a few moments back going their way, but they couldn't really connect the acrobatic effort that they wanted to take. And eventually, the goalkeeper of Haryana pulling off a comfortable save, charging out of his line, and now the ball stays with Haryana. And that's a brilliant ball from the defense, and eventually goes out of the bounds, giving away a goal kick to Chhattisgarh. Aman Munda now on the ball. What a stunning game Aman has had so far. And Haryana this time trying their luck from the distance. Saw Aman slightly off his position. Thought maybe they could fancy their chances from that range, but it is never easy. Even if you beat the goalkeeper, you have to be on your target, and getting the target perfect from that humongous of a range is almost next to impossible unless you're creating something magical and talismanic. Here's a chance, however, for Haryana. But a brilliant piece of defensive work there, putting in an extended feet, forcing Haryana to take a quick shot that was definitely not on target and sailing away from the woodwork. What a start! What a frenetic start we have had to the second half of the contest between Haryana and Chhattisgarh. Now Chhattisgarh has the ball with them, and eventually it will be out for a throw-in in favour of Haryana. A decent effort for Haryana. Sends a quick throw-in. But Chhattisgarh has managed to reclaim the possession for themselves, though not clean enough to keep the ball in their control. but eventually did manage to roll it forward, and the referee quickly blowing his whistle. And now the ball being shuffled into the other wing. We have Avjit Singh more calm with it. And now Haryana chasing forward for the ball, darting, but eventually a bit too cumbrous at the end of it all, and it eventually rolls out of play for a goal kick now in favor of Chhattisgarh. There's a quick piece of run from the right. Chhattisgarh come knocking on the door again. Lets one fly. That was not on target. He dragged it slightly wide, thereby allowing Haryana to breathe a sigh of reprieve. They're under early pressure in the second half. And now Haryana building from the back. They'll have to keep themselves calm. They'll have to keep their composure because, well, it's understandable that Chhattisgarh will be pressing harder. They'll have to keep their composure and come forward in the attacks like the way they did it back in the first half. This is football. This is a game of momentum. At one point in time, the momentum will be with you, and at the very next, the momentum will be with your opposition. And if you lose your calm at this point in time where the momentum is not with you, that can be absolutely disastrous. You have to keep your calm, you have to focus on the ball, you will have to keep your shape and the defensive formation absolutely intact. Not allow your opposition to get a chance. And that got a bit nasty here at the end of it. Haryana slightly losing control of their temper. It was Jivesh who wanted the ball desperately for himself and in the process ended up pushing the player. Quick word of warning, and now the referee quickly summoning over the medico. It's Ajit of Chhattisgarh who needs some medical attention. Well, this game has been pretty entertaining. Both teams have been extremely decent, extremely open to try and test each other out. And now a long ball launched forward. And this can be a golden opportunity for Chhattisgarh, and they found the back of the net. It kept on knocking on the doors, and eventually all the salvo in the second half has more handsome dividends. A brilliant cross from the leg. Avijit Pramanik once again with the cross. And Navai Kumar Yadav with the finish. Just a few moments back, as I mentioned,
First goal by Chhattisgarh.
Haryana will have to keep their nerves. They cannot let the pressure get to them. There was nothing that the goalkeeper could have done. It was 2-1. And at the end of it, it is Abhijit Pramanik, the man on that far left, who managed to send in that scarring cross. And a picture perfect finish from Abhay Kumar Yadav from point blank range. And now Haryana will have to find a way back in the game despite a very strong start. Football has always been a game of momentum, and when the momentum's not with you, it's depends on how you react to it. That's important. Haryana somehow started relinquishing the spaces to Chhattisgarh way too easily in the midfield, and that is what allowed Chhattisgarh to come forward and eventually find the back of the net. Well, they have drawn first blood, but it's still a long way from the final whistle. It's still almost 36 minutes of exciting action, at least from regulation time, is remaining. Now that's a decent cross from Haryana, equally well defended by Chhattisgarh. It's a bit of a race and a bit of a very, very emphatic race between two sides. And now it's Ujit Singh Murkam with the ball. Tries to create that pass to the far right, but it wasn't a decent pass. And that will allow Haryana to come forward again. An opportunity for Haryana. The ball still stays with Chhattisgarh. Ujit Singh Murkam with the ball. And quickly chips it forward. It's back to the goal scorer, Abhay Kumar Yadav. Abhay does a decent job, but a bit of a push there from the back. And it's a twin substitution happening for Chhattisgarh. Or rather for Haryana. Vaibhav Sharma, who's going to come out in place of Akshay Ranva. And we have Hitesh, who will be coming in, or rather will be coming in place of Jivesh. Jivesh has been pretty silent today. He's also seemed pretty frustrated in the forthcoming second half or in the last few minutes.
Jersey number 9
He's
out.
made a few fouls
Jersey
that
number
were
8.
least expected.
Jersey
They were
number
pretty
9
untoward of his calm character. Another cross comes floating in from the left, but this time rattles the chest of a Haryana player and eventually rolls into the safe arms of Gurjeet Singh. And Gurjeet sends the goal kick forward. Now Haryana does a decent job of snatching away the ball from their counterpart, sends it forward. The ball still stays with Haryana. And Chhattisgarh putting in a staunch shift to clear away the lines, and Mohammad Ayan darting forward, trading it away for a throw. Here's the confirmation of the changes. Vaibhav Sharma in, wherein Akshay Ranva went out. The captain of Chhattisgarh is down on the ground, rolling in pain, Suresh Kumar Dhruv. And here's another confirmation of another change. Hitesh going in, Jivesh going out. Well, a totally changed complexion in the second half has set the narrative of the game. An exciting exchange of affairs, a phenomenal finish nonetheless. And here's a change happening for Chhattisgarh as well. So Mohammad Ayan will be coming off, wherein Prakash Gupta will be going in. So yes, it's Prakash who's already taken the field, and Mohammad Ayan has been substituted. Now Prakash is known for his midfield abilities to hold the ball. Right now, Chhattisgarh will focus on holding the ball a lot more in the midfield. That will allow them to dictate the game. Because if you have a holding midfielder in your ranks, your opposition will have to come forward with even better tactics to get past you, because that's how the game stands. That's how the story of the game stands. A holding midfielder plays a crucial role in shaping up your defense, especially when you are having that 1-0 lead, a very slender lead. And similarly, a holding midfielder can be the bridge between your defense and your attack, thereby allowing you to create a few chances of your own as well. The ball's with Haryana at the moment. They are trying to fancy their luck. This is an opportunity. The goalkeeper came forward in time. Didn't really get a touch to it. There's a bit of a collision between the goalkeeper and the striker. And eventually the goalkeeper managed to get back up, but it's a defender of Haryana, or rather the attacker of Haryana, Ajay, who's down, and a defender of Chhattisgarh who's taken a knock. It is the captain basically, Suresh Kumar Dhruv, Three of them came together, converged upon the ball. And it's good to see that at least after the medical attention, all three of them are back on their feet. We can see the crowds pouring in numbers as time passes by. The crowds are entertained by this exchange. And as we all know, this is a grand level tournament happening, unfolding at one of the most and one of the upcoming venues of Kolhapur. And these two teams are willing to put everything on the line to ensure that at the end of it all, they have a smile on their face. But right now, Haryana has all the reasons to frown profusely, wherein Chhattisgarh will have all the reasons, will have abundant reasons to smile broader and broader as the time whizzes by. And now we are almost on the cusp of completing 1 hour of exciting football between these two teams. And now here's a chance again for Chhattisgarh, trying to use that left wing. Abhijit Pramanik sends in across from the left, but it doesn't seem that it will find its coveted destination. But nonetheless, the ball still stays alive in favor of Chhattisgarh. Haryana trying desperately to stall all the salvo of Chhattisgarh and forge something of their own. But at the moment, they will have to struggle, they will have to battle harder than they are doing. They'll have to show a lot more attacking intent to rattle open that Chhattisgarh defense that has so far stood up to the task of keeping Haryana at bay. The flag's gone up, so it's going to be an offside here against Haryana, increasing their frustrations, increasing their tensions in the camp. That was a decent pass, but there was a bit of a clipping involved in the referee quickly blowing away the whistle, thereby giving a free kick to Chhattisgarh. The captain of Chhattisgarh, yeah, Suresh Kumar Dhruv, all set for the free kick, taking his time, not really in a hurry. Chips it towards that far left, does a decent bit of a shimmy, and now sets up Abhijit Pramanik for another cross, but this time headed away staunchly by Haryana. And the ball rolls out of play. A throw in here in favor of Chhattisgarh at the moment. A bit of a push involved, but the referee says it's all right. He'll have to retake the free kick actually. He took it way too early. Chhattisgarh quickly taking the free kick again. Haryana right now in a position to arrange their players in a concrete formation that will give them further hope of restoring parity at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Stadium. These kind of maneuvers will definitely not help them. They'll have to be a bit more focused in that. They'll have to avoid those silly errors. This was an unforced mistake altogether. The ball going out of play. A few short passes between Haryana right now. But the resultant delivery that was meant for the player on the far left, who could have taken it forward to try and launch an attack, was overstruck and it rolled out of play. Here's a quick throw in for Chhattisgarh at the moment. And they've taken it as quickly as they could. Bit of a constant push from the behind. Doesn't really work out in their favor. An opportunity for Haryana to regroup themselves, to launch one of those deadly looking free kicks that can probably set themselves up for a question or two against Chhattisgarh. But again, not a very decent free kick. Now here's a long race, a lot of leeway for Chhattisgarh to try and use that. But that's a brilliant piece, a save from the goalkeeper. Maybe a bit too long on the ball. Abhijit Pramanik didn't really release it on time. There was a player onto his far right who could have had a better shy at goal. But the goalkeeper of Haryana coming out perfectly, Gurjit Singh, and putting in a staunch dive to eventually prune down the angle and denying the opposition a shy at goal. We can see the Haryana camp aren't really in the greatest of spirits. They seem pretty despondent at the moment. Well, the results are all clear because they are trailing right now. They're trailing by a solitary goal. They'll need to focus on the fact that it's just one goal that they are trailing the match by. And one goal can be pumped in at any point in time only if you're willing to believe. They were a pretty decent team in the first half. They were stitching together those attacks. The second half has lacked cohesion for them. The second half has lacked concrete support for their attackers from the midfield. They are somehow giving in to the rising pressure from Haryana or from Chhattisgarh at the moment. Chhattisgarh keeps the pass at their feet, wherein Haryana once again another missed pass with no pressure on his shoulder whatsoever. This is getting a lot more frustrating right now for Haryana because they are committing those unforced errors, allowing Chhattisgarh to steal away crucial seconds from the game, steal away the momentum, change the tempo of the game as per their liking. Abhijit Pramanik on the ball again from that left wing, sends in a brilliant cross, but defended well by Haryana. And the ball's back at the feet of Haryana. Launches one forward. Opportunity for Haryana, but not really decent enough, or wasn't in the position to try and unload something. An opportunity for Haryana looking for that shooting space, but Chhattisgarh absolutely hell-bent in their pursuit of clearing the ball, and that was an absolutely brilliant piece of save, or brilliant piece of block there from Ajit Singh Murkam. It seems a throw in here in favor of Haryana. They were appealing for a corner actually. Haryana needs to hurry right now. They'll have to show the urgency. They'll have to show the courage to put their players forward. Because if they're unable to do so, with time, the pressure will keep on building. Well, once again, Haryana expecting a penalty to go their way, but it doesn't. The referee says, let the game be alive, because that was no penalty at all. There was no foul at all. Right now, things are a bit scrappy between Haryana and Chhattisgarh. The ball's seeing a lot more of the aerial route without any positive result at the end of it. And that was a bit careless from Chhattisgarh. Not able to clear away the lines as per to their likings. And this is a brilliant piece of turn. A shot comes floating in. But that was already sailing away over the woodwork. The referee unhappy there with Haryana's approach before the shot came in. And here's a substitution that's going to happen for Haryana. We can see Pradeep Kumar, a defender, coming forward. Now that's a very bizarre substitution given the context of the play. They've taken off an attacker, Ankit, wherein they have unleashed a defender amongst their ranks. Now, they are the ones who are trailing at the moment. They'll need a lot more firepower to get into their, to get under the skin of their opposition or to get the ball past that goal line. Now, this can be a move wherein, where you have three solid defenders in your ranks so that you can actually try and put in more forwards in the game. That can be a possible reason, but only time shall reveal whether we are in the same path or whether we share this similar mindset. But nonetheless, getting back to the game now, it's still 1-0 at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, as Chhattisgarh has a lead and now has a free kick to unload. We have B. Gaurav to take the free kick for Chhattisgarh, and it seems like a pretty decent position to launch it in the box. They eventually do, but the ball was repelled away by the bulwark of Haryana. The ball's fallen back for Haryana once again. Extremely careless and sloppy from Haryana. They are supposed to receive these balls, but it seems that their body language has been pretty apathetic. They are sloping with every passing second, and it's a downward slope. They'll have to worry about these mistakes. These mistakes will not get them anywhere so far in the game. It's understandable that somehow they were very disapproving of the fact that Chhattisgarh managed to take the lead against them, but that's football. You play good in one half, and you have to keep the other half alive as well. But somehow Haryana completely has switched off in the second half with no efforts to show, with a dwindling body language and definitely a receding passion to find that equalizer. We are 20 minutes away from the regulation time at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur. And the kind of football that these two teams have played, it has been entertaining to say the least. It has been downright entertaining. It has been a footballing enterprise that has been stitched with the rudimentary of football, and eventually it has exploded into a full blown footballing classic between two states duking it out for Group 4 at the Kolhapur, or rather at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, the Maharashtra leg of the Hero 76 NFC Santosh Trophy. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? As we say this contest is brought to you live by the official broadcasting partner of the Hero 76 NFC Santosh Trophy Maharashtra leg, SportsKPI. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and definitely check us out on YouTube so that we can keep on bringing you these contests with every passing day. There are a lot of leagues coming up, so this can be the home for Indian football if you keep on supporting us. But now, getting back to the game once again, a bit of a hasty challenge there from Haryana, giving away the possession once again way too cheaply, not really able to sustain the pressure. It seems that Chhattisgarh is having it too easy at the moment because Haryana are supposed to be a lot more clinically accurate. They are supposed to be a lot more precise when it comes to creating those balls. But it seems that they are a lot more cumbersome. They are a lot more, they are a lot more out of the box. It feels as if the urgency is with Chhattisgarh, the kind of precision that they have stitched over these short balls or these short passes. And somehow Ujit Singh Markam has been a pivotal figure for Chhattisgarh in the second half. He's taken a lot of workload. He's ran all across the field and has did a phenomenal job. Here's a substitution happening for Chhattisgarh at the moment. And it is Amit Nag who will be coming on in place of Abhishek Kunjam. Abhishek Kunjam had a decent game until now, and it will be Abhishek who will be making way for an incoming Amit Nag. Here's the captain, Suresh Kumar Dhruv, with a long free kick, launches it forward. The ball's back at the feet of Haryana. Haryana still trying to find an outlet for themselves. There's a player down, but the referee signals to carry the game on. And that's a brilliant piece of job. The referee blowing the whistle. Now that was clearly a body block. It seems that Haryana is definitely not accepting the foul. It was Ashok Kumar, the substitute, who came on later in the second half. who pulled up this block, but he clearly never had the ball in sight while trying to pull up this block. And the referee awarding a free kick now in favor of Chhattisgarh. And we have Abhijit Pramanik on the ball. And we also have Somnath Das, who is all set to maybe do a dummy run or maybe send in that outswinger. There'll be a quick exchange of words between the two before the free kick comes floating in into the blend. And it was eventually Somnath Das with the free kick, but it was not well taken. It was sailing away from the goal mouth and it was traded away to safety. There's an opportunity and a race for the goalkeeper of Chhattisgarh, Aman Munda. In fact, this is probably the first time he had to put in a save, or rather the second time, because the first time was a bit of a chaotic and wherein the captain of Chhattisgarh cocked a bit of a blow in his gut. So this was the second time wherein the goalkeeper of Chhattisgarh had to pull off a save in the second half. So that kind of gives you the story of the game so far in the second half. The first half mostly belonged to Haryana because given their dominant style of football. But despite the fact that they couldn't find the back of the net, the second half has somehow been entirely written off against them. Now this is an opportunity again. Oh, there's a bit of confusion as well. The goalkeeper shuffling between his stance and the woodwork and eventually coming out in time to collect it comfortably. There's a Chhattisgarh player who's down. Will need some treatment, of course. The stretcher has been summoned over. And as we head towards the final 14 minutes of the regulation time of this game, it has been a pretty tight exchange so far from both sides. Haryana somehow switching off their attacking valve in the second. Despite the ingressions that they have managed, they have really not been clinical. They have really not been that sumptuous or accurate like they were in the first half. So, and that has made them pay a very hefty price. Oh, that's a brilliant ball once again sent from the right. Now Haryana chasing the ball, sends in a scarring cross from the left. But Chhattisgarh proving equal to this task, providing a staunch clearance eventually to give away a throw-in to Haryana. It will be a long throw-in from Naveen Taksak. Ball still stays with Naveen. Does a decent job. The ball took a bit of a bobble. It did rise up, felt as if that it has caught the hand of the player of Chhattisgarh. And before Chhattisgarh could have bombed forward with another opportunity, the flag goes up. Gurjeet Singh has come all the way forward now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an incredible exchange in the final 12 minutes coming up. Haryana is going to put all their hands on deck to restore parity at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium, wherein Chhattisgarh will have to defend ferociously if they want desperately to hold on to the lead that they have at their disposal. The ball now stays with Chhattisgarh. And they are trying to exploit that central channel. Switches now to their favorite mode of attack from the left wing again. Quickly cuts it back in. Taking some space ahead, but at the end of it all, a very meek effort rolling down the gully of, or rather rolling down the gauntlet of Gurjeet Singh. And now Chhattisgarh, again desperate to keep the ball away from their own attacking third, urging Haryana to come forward at the moment. But if you have a close look at things, or rather on a microscopic view, you will see Chhattisgarh have been a lot better than Haryana in the second half. And despite all these attacking bursts that Chhattisgarh has managed to conjure, or rather Haryana has managed to conjure, it hasn't been that clinical that could have budged the opposition. There was a chance, but a rattling block coming all the way from Chhattisgarh, denying Haryana an iota of space to dart forward. And a quick ball being sent forward. Oh, that was a bit of a high boot involved, but it was very much okay. And a free kick has now been awarded to Haryana at a very crucial juncture. It initially felt like a high boot, as we mentioned, so the referee most likely issued advantage play, but it didn't seem like Haryana will be able to control the ball even on that first go, and the referee was forced to call or to blow his whistle and give away a free kick just at the edge of the box. Here's a chance for Haryana to make it all square in the ongoing contest. Can Chhattisgarh rise up to the occasion of staving away an opportunity? Do we have a new twist in the tale? We have a lot of thrill already adorning us, and the adrenaline is sure to pump in your veins higher than ever. And if Haryana does manage to find the back of the net, it is going to be groundbreaking for them. We have Hitesh Kadian with the free kick, all set to unload his effort, waiting for the whistle of the referee. That would feel like a peal of defiance, and Hitesh has found the back of the net. It took a deflection along the way against the wall, and it bobbled up into the back of the net in favor of Haryana.
अभी 2 के बराबरी पर चल रही है.
A brilliant strike. We have known Haryana to pull off stunts like these before. And that is what a deserved goal. Nonetheless, despite being slightly lacking in their enterprises in the second half, Hitesh Kadian has managed to find the back of the net. Now Haryana keeps on coming back again. Sends in a scarring cross from the right. But eventually that balloons over the woodwork. And now it's all square at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, Kolhapur is right now on tenterhooks. It's an electric exchange between these two sides, between two contingents, pumping adrenaline like water. They want goals for themselves. They do not want this contest to finish on a barren patch. Now Chhattisgarh has an opportunity to try and build from the left, looking for that cross, looking for some help. He's almost single-handedly staving away the opposition. But Haryana has managed to regain the ball in their favor. And now they are on the surge again from the right. And Chhattisgarh putting in a crucial defensive intervention. Another cross, this time coming in from the left wing. And the ball remains with Chhattisgarh. But it's back with Haryana now. Taking their time. That does a decent job. Shimmies a bit. Sends the ball to the right and he tries to try his luck. What a shot! What a strike was that from nowhere! Haryana has came back in the game, plugged the deficit, and has surged ahead in lead. What a clinical hit from range, and despite a full stage dive of the goalkeeper, that has flown in the back of their net. Absolutely impeccable. Haryana has managed to stage a remarkable watershed at the Chhatrapati Sahu Stadium. It was a moment of brilliance. It was a moment of absolute entropy for Chhattisgarh, and they stay rooted to their spot. It was the substitute Pradeep Kumar who came on as a defender in place of Haryana, who's managed to find the back of the net. Here's a twin substitution happening for Chhattisgarh. It's all happening. Do we have further twist to the tale? Do we have further drama waiting us all? Haryana has done the damage. Chhattisgarh, a moment of madness, rather two moments of madness, and now they find themselves trailing. It's 2-1 in favor of Haryana, and Chhattisgarh will have some ground to cover. And it's gone out of play, and it's a throw-in now in favor of Chhattisgarh. The ball's at the feet of Chhattisgarh. Here's an opportunity. A long ball sent forward from the right, sends in a cross, but eventually that cross was very emaciated. Two quick strikes from Haryana, and the game, the first one coming from a free kick. A bit of luck helping Haryana on their pursuit. It was Hitesh Kadian with a tremendous finish. And after nowhere, the substitute Pradeep Kumar came in with the second goal of the day to make it 2-1 in favor of Haryana. It has been an absolutely exciting affair, and as we mentioned, we already said that this last 12 minutes are going to be an absolutely fascinating piece of battle between these two teams who will not relent at anything, will not hesitate to pull the trigger. And as we head into the final minutes of madness at the Kolhapur, at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, this is going to be an absolute drama to unfurl, wherein the artists at work will need to put in all of their efforts together. They'll have to focus on the free kick. They'll not get many opportunities from here on. Time is ticking away faster than they can breathe right now. Unloads an effort, but traded away by the wall. The ball still stays and straight down the gully of a leaping Gurjeet Singh. And there's a player down, and for Haryana, and as we can see it, it's Ajay who again needs medical attention. And the Haryana coach will definitely be happy. And what an electric affair has this been. The stretcher has been called out and he will be substituted. I'll try to steal away a few crucial seconds with that, because all these seconds are absolutely imperative in the context of this fixture. It's crucial that these two teams manage to play out the remaining part of the game without further injuries. The stretcher has been asked to leave the field because it's good to see that the players back up. Well, there have been a few stoppages in the second half, so it won't be surprising if we are going to witness a sudden surge in the number of minutes that are going to be added on. We are down to the final 30 seconds of regulation time, and this is going to be one prolonged extra time, a bout of extra time that is going to be played between Haryana and Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh now has the ball in their favor. Haryana absolutely relentless with their defense.
Added time 6 minutes.
6 minutes have been added on, a staggering 6 minutes, a staggering 360 seconds for Chhattisgarh to try and find that equalizer, to add further spice to what has already been a year-winning drama at the Chhatrapati Shahu Stadium in Kolhapur, wherein Haryana has 360 seconds to keep this very slender lead alive. Now, this is a free kick from a very dangerous position for Chhattisgarh. Almost from a similar range, it was Haryana who found the back of the net to make it 1-1. Can Chhattisgarh make good use of it? We have Somnath Das, we have Abhijit Pramanik on the free kick. Abhijit has a decent left foot. There's an opportunity for them. Lets one fly, but jams straight into the wall. Oh, brilliant side volley. But it sails over the woodwork. But it took a deflection as well, so that's going to be a corner. Another set piece now in favor of Chhattisgarh. It's getting spicier with every passing second. This is a contest to remember. This is a battle to savor. The football fanatics will definitely have themselves gripped to the seats. A corner that floats on the ground, and eventually a very poor effort at the end of the day that sailed over the woodwork. Chhattisgarh will need to be a lot more precise. 2 minutes of the added time of 6 minutes have already elapsed, and it's 240 seconds more that these teams will try and stay in the hunt. And the opportunity still remains, not really being cleared away by the opposition. There's a chance, but traded away by the defenders. And that's a fine run from the left. A brilliant ball sent forward for Haryana to try and converge upon. They will not be successful in that. Chhattisgarh will be upping the ante now. They'll almost have all their players on the lookout for a goal. We have completed 3 minutes of the additional time. Navjit Singh Murkam sends the ball forward. Haryana putting in all the decent footwork now. All the fancy dribble and dabble. All the fancy razzle-dazzle. And definitely the glitz and glam that they would want to adorn their victory. Very slender one if they manage to come out on top here. But a victory nonetheless. It would be a victory to savor because they came back from behind. The ball still remains afloat in the air. Ujit Singh Markam on the right. Sends it across, takes a deflection of a Haryana defender. Can Chhattisgarh manage to win it back? Final 2 minutes of the game remaining. Chhattisgarh has an opportunity to go forward again. Sends it towards the far right and absolutely a rudderless of a pass. This would really leave Chhattisgarh frustrated after such a brilliant second half. 2 minutes of whirlwind, 2 minutes of pandemonium, and they are on the brink of another defeat. All their hard work almost on the cusp of unraveling, and Naveen Taksak will have to be stretchered out of the field as he suffered a fall. Very unfortunate fall nonetheless.
सर्वोत्तम खेळाडूचा बहुमान हरियाणा संघाचा जर्सी नंबर 11 हितेश कडियान या खेळाडूला जाहीर करण्यात आलेला आहे.
It's going to be a throw in now in favor of Haryana. They'll try and send it as far away as they can from the goal. Can Chhattisgarh have a last throw of the dice? They will be desperate for it. But for that, they'll first have to control the ball. They sends it far to the far left. Is it kept in play? It isn't. It's now getting a bit too easy. The dying embers for Haryana, because Chhattisgarh is unable to keep the ball in control, unable to keep the passes in check. And now a barge from the right wing, a bit of a push, and eventually giving away a throw-in in favor, or giving away a free kick in favor of Chhattisgarh. 6 minutes of additional time are over on the clock. They'll have a few crucial seconds being added on. That's because there were a few stoppages in the stoppage time as well. And Haryana right away just keeping the ball as far away as they can from their own goal. They know that they have the game in the pocket. And that's it. The final whistle has been blown. What a terrific victory for Haryana. Trailing by a goal for almost more than half an hour in the game in the second half. And eventually coming back from almost nowhere, coming back in absolutely stunning fashion to go past Chhattisgarh in the group stages. A brilliant game of football nonetheless. An exchange that everyone will remember. Who else? Like we have already found the best player being awarded. We'll try and showcase you the presentation ceremony as well. And just to give you all a heads up, it is Hitesh Kandia who got the equalizer, who will be given away the best player, the player of the match award. Oh, this man, what a strike he had. It was absolutely unbelievable. It was a reverberating strike, and the net almost ended up rattling. A full stage dive from the goalkeeper. He did manage to get a hand onto it, but it wasn't enough to keep the ball out of the net.
इस मैच का सर्वोत्तम खिलाड़ी का पुरस्कार भी हरियाणा का खिलाड़ी जर्सी नंबर 11 हितेश कडियान को.
That's the confirmation of the final score line. Abhay Kumar Yadav drawing first blood for Chhattisgarh, where it was Hitesh Kadia with a strike from a free kick and Pradeep Kumar with that all-important blow, creating a serious dent on the aspirations of Chhattisgarh. As the twilight awaits us all, as a beautiful sunset lurks on the horizon of Kolhapur, we had a fascinating encounter between Chhattisgarh and Haryana, unfurling a thrilling contest of football. Here's the stats for the game. Chhattisgarh with 44% possession, Haryana with 56%. 14 shots each from both the sides. 6 shots on target from Chhattisgarh, 5 on target from Haryana. 1 corner for Chhattisgarh, 4 for Haryana. 6 fouls from Chhattisgarh, 8 from Haryana. 2 yellow cards for Chhattisgarh, none for Haryana, and no red cards at all. And these stats were powered to you by the official broadcasting partner, SportsKPI. And here's the Man of the Match award. Hitesh Kadian being given the award. What a terrific performance he's had. He was the one who restored parity. And eventually, he was the one who bagged the performance for the best player. He's also the hero of the match. So yes, a double show for this man. A man who really deserved it in all his best. And that's all from here today. We still have one more awards coming up.
छत्तीसगढ़ का खिलाड़ी अभिषेक कुंजम
So we'll try and confirm who is it going to be.
छत्तीसगढ़ टीम के खिलाड़ी जर्सी नंबर 19 अभिषेक कुंजम दमन और दादरा के खिलाफ खेले गए मैच में इस खिलाड़ी को सर्वोत्तम खिलाड़ी का खिताब घोषित किया गया है
We are still awaiting the confirmation. We don't have a confirmation as of yet. But if we have it, we'll definitely let you know. Hitesh Kadian was the hero of the match after his phenomenal equalizer and definitely all the hard work that he's managed to put forward.
राजेंद्र दळवी सर यांच्या हस्ते हे पारितोषिक देण्यात येत आहे
And it is
अभिषेक कुंजम या खेळाडूला
another award for a phenomenal goal that he actually scored for Chhattisgarh. And that's all from here, evidently. It was Abhishek Kunjam who got that award for a phenomenal strike, and that's it. As the evening falls upon us all, it's all over at least for this day, between Chhattisgarh and Haryana. Haryana walks away with the bragging rights after a phenomenal comeback, after a terrific watershed. Do not go, that's probably it from today, but do not forget to join us on Friday as we have more exciting encounters waiting us all. We'll see you on Friday again. Till then, take care of yourself. Definitely do not forget to check us out on YouTube. SportsKPI is the name for the official broadcasting partner of the Maharashtra leg of Hero 76 NFC Santosh Trophy. That's all from here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is us signing off. It has been a pleasure serving you all. Thank you, everyone.